bit of a longer break so everybody could catch their breath after a very close game 2 on Haven. My name still Tanner Metro. I'm still joined by Dust. We're still following the action for XSET in version 1, and we're headed over to Bind. And I would think if you're a version 1 player, fan, family member, friend, you probably didn't want to take it to map 3 here.
Yeah, again, normally a map that they really stray away from, but their ascent's kind of failing them lately, so they decided to take that out instead. But we would be remiss without taking a little bit of a look at what took place there on Haven. A very great performance from version 1 here, particularly on that defensive side. That's how they sometimes struggle on. Like, I think they were near 51% win rate on the defense on Haven coming into this match, and they wound up winning the half 8-4 defensively. Again, I think a lot of it came down to how good they were at countering XSET's game plan on the A side of the map. Penny being so good at the aggression on sewer side. Zelfs is able to, anchor the site well when need be, as well as, push the issue up long in that final round. And then in the second half, it was a bit of a scrap. Just absolute slugfest. Never really knew where it was going. Seemed like XSET were making a very good move to come back, even tie up the game at 11 apiece at one point, but version 1 able to just hold them off and force the third map here on Bind.
Yeah, and I mean, near overtime, right? We almost saw both halves go 8-4 as we swapped the sides. You take a look, Zelsis up there. Unfortunately, BCJ not really able to match. I think you can. The only reason I highlight that is because it was our head-to-head player versus player. And I think you can give BCJ a bit of a break, although still doing well on Haven in a very close game. Basically gave it their all on Split, right? Did so much for the team to have that dominant victory. Now we lean on over towards Bind, where Split, a lot of momentum going towards XSET, and you have to think version 1 maybe just kind of scrapping that one, looking to go next. On Haven, the momentum was still there, and version 1, it took a timeout to really slow things down and reel in those last few rounds. Now on Bind, you really gotta bring your all, because this is a map that is usually banned away when version 1 is playing, whether it be themselves or another team. So I'm interested to see how this one turns out. As again, we get another Astra. Vanity had tweeted Astra is cool and fun, so maybe not having the best time playing against whether it be Aaron or Weeded on this agent.
Yeah, again, similar compositions to what we've seen XSET play on the past on Bind. This is one of the maps where Weeded will play Sky, which is very interesting. Again, Weeded is all over the place with Asians, as he has been for quite some time. He's always kind of tested the waters with new things, and so him bringing the Sky over to Bind is going to be a bit of a change, and so it'll be one of those maps that, again, they go back to the single duelist composition with Pure just playing the Raze, as he's kind of made that pivot off Jet on this map. And then on the V1 side of things, they've only played this map twice, so I didn't really have much of a read on what they would look to do, but keeping the double duelist in play, putting Penny on Raze this time instead of having him play the Jet, which, again, I didn't really know what to expect from them. The last time they played this map was against BBG just a couple of days ago, and this is essentially the same composition they played that time. So I guess they're just kind of sticking to their guns in that regard. And here's the thing, for me, it's not as if XSET light the world on fire on Bind. That they have like a slightly above 50% win rate on the map. I think they're like, like 10-7 or something like that since BCT joined the team. So again, not like a power map for them by any means, but again, V1 have not had that many reps and officials on the map, so hard to really get a read on what they're going to bring to the table.
Yeah, it is tough, right? With this squad, we kind of talked about their stardom, or their start and race to stardom started at the beginning of 2021. So yeah, you don't have a whole lot to go off of outside of the previous VCT in stage 1, or a couple of the monthlies that have been popping up. So we kind of have, maybe I have at the very least, have been a bit harder on this version 1 squad, saying, well, Bind might not be their map, but we quite possibly don't know what to expect coming into this one.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not really sure how proficient they will be. I mean, everyone kind of knows how to play out default Bind and all the gimmicks of the teleporters and kind of the general meta of the map. I'm sure V1 are, have no ignorance in that regard, as FEC is going to clear out U-Haul with the drone, wall up from Zelfs just to allow them to threaten U-Haul even further. Some stars are up close, but they come a little bit late as they're able to penetrate the site.
Yeah, and a very interesting turret inside of U-Haul there. We're going to find the first kill on the Sky, and the shock darts looking to start chipping away for BCJ. That spike now going down. It is going to be that 5v4 retake. XSET in favor by a player. Wifo kind of on the flank here, but taking a whole bunch of damage. They're able to pick them up, though, whether it be utility or the pistols They cut him down. A near flawless round here in this one, unless Vanity can go to work, and that he cannot. 5 standing as XSET take the pistol.
Yeah, that's the thing about playing a Sky and a Sova is you get so much info gathering capabilities with those two agents. I mean, you get the Trailblazer, you get the drone, you get the recon bolt. That is so great for scouting early as well as setting up for retakes. You obviously have all of Astra's utility. Basically, you just have so many tools at your disposal to try to work rounds out, on top of course, also having the Boombot to get intel and take space. So, I mean, it is just a lot to work against if you're V1 and a lot to put to use if you're XSET to, you know, get a lay of the land, I guess you could say. So, interesting composition from XSET. You don't see a lot of teams doubling up on Sky and Sova. Especially in this region.
And the best part about that information is it's the forward information, right? That's your Sentinels do get you some information, but when you're throwing out the recon bolt, you're throwing out the guiding light, you're getting so much without having to give up really anything. So it is nice to have both of that as the guiding lights continue to go through. It's an eco or an anti-eco here for XSET, so we're expecting the bodies to just hit the floor
like
for version 1. Ooh, they're hoping to, at the very least, get a plant. Teleport comes through. Vanity still spike in hand. Unfortunately, stuck where he stands inside the cubby. And another flawless on the horizon here. Player 1 trying to do some damage back. Okay, there it is. Makes me eat my words. A near flawless. 4 still standing for XSET. They pick up the anti-eco, but now we get to see version 1 go to work.
I never thought I would get a drowning pool reference in during a Valorant broadcast, but we were able to get there, so... I'm sure
I'm all over the place. Yeah, I'm working. I'm cooking in the lab here.
I can't believe you didn't give me some type of shout out or praise that I read that. Like you threw it out there and I just immediately had it and I got nothing from you in response. A little bit disappointed. Yeah. All the Zoomers are like, who's drowning pool? You know, just give yourself a Google. Give yourself a chance. Here we go. First real attacking round. Look at this aggression from XSET. Can't blame them. They want to put those Spectres up close. Maybe get that early intel for quick rotations.
Yeah, and a whole lot of information that just about everybody is there as Vanity looks to escape. It's the guiding lights, the recon bolt, now the Trailblazer, the spike on the ground. They're looking to just nest egg as Zelsis tries to go aggressive. A double kill with the Boombot. Pure's going to pick up another with the Spectres, and they're making the bonus hurt. You wouldn't even know it was a bonus.
Bruh. I bet you Vanity's about to have another tweet that's about to go along the lines of like, Sky, really fun agent to play against. Bro, look at how much stuff got lobbed at him there. He got a Boombot lobbed at him, a paint shell lobbed at him, a couple of guiding lights, a Trailblazer. He got some help from his teammate Player 1 coming over from shower side, but I mean, they were just launching everything at him, and he's the one that had spike possession, so that really threw a wrench in things. Again, that is a perfect demonstration when we watch that replay of just how much utility XSET had to throw at you to create pressure, get information, push you back, set up retakes. I mean, it's just a lot to handle and read. And on a bonus round like that, you just can't anticipate that much assertiveness through that hallway.
Exactly, and a really strong way to play it. You know, there's a lot of long angles on bind. These Spectres don't usually win those fights, so they just push the fight right to you. Now Effie's, excuse me, making it hurt just a bit, but it's upgrades for the 3 remaining. BCJ and We Did gonna be A-okay to buy rifles into this next. And once more, puts version 1 back down to pistols. This is, I'm not gonna say that it's done yet or it's the same exact thing, but this is exactly how we started on Split.
Yeah, that was just relentless aggression from XSET. Again, a team that is very good at those dynamic defensive setups. When you watch some of their previous matches, they're very good at moving, you know, the Waifo's utility around on Killjoy, you know, setting up aggression at showers or short or, you know, into hookah. Like, they are very good at making it hard to read what their intentions are. And now we have version 1 on the pistols only. Zelsis already receiving some heat and showers, has to heal back, but does get out of there with the orb to build up that run it back, 1 away from it. That'll be a vital weapon. Maybe even later on in this round, though you would think they probably save it for next. Might be able to get this orb, though, towards Octagon and start creating some pressure. They are making that pivot with Zelsis, in fact.
Ooh,
there it is. And you can get a rifle and use it. They might actually go for it here, you know?
And I mean, that's the best you could hope for. Took a lot of damage on one side of the map, swaps on over and picks up a kill. Nice little running headshot there.
I'll tell you what, if I'm V1, I'm considering it. You lost a bonus round. You have a 5-on-4. You have Zelsis with ult and a Phantom. Like, it might be worth a go. They have hookah control.
Yeah, and it just makes the next round a standard round. You just won't have that ultimate, but you'll be on full rifle. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And maybe to take a chance on it. Penny, unfortunately, shot down through the dark cover. The spike is going to be planted, and that run it back held on for a moment longer. Now Smoke's taking off the board. Player one going to fall as well. The shock darts, and Zelsis might have a two-man spray. I don't know. BCJ privy to the angle as Aaron cuts down Effie's at the end there. The fourth round to XSET. And again, we find version 1 on rifles, and Dust, they hung on to the ultimate. So this should be the round.
Yeah, it wasn't like you'd have to do it. It was kind of more of like a let's maybe consider it type of thing, I think. But I think once they started to meet a little bit more resistance, it became less and less probable that they could win with it. And so holding it until this round makes total sense. You combine that with Neural Theft as well. They are certainly going to pack a wallop coming into their first buy round here. So we are going to see this time around the utility of Thwyfo being set up on the opposite side. Again, varying where he's going to be anchoring, making it a little bit harder on the attack to read. Full buy, though, finally in effect. Look at this from Pure, though. Such a quick blast pack up. Again, this short A aggression.
And has some info that these players are here. Tosses it into the cyber cage. Now two going to be spotted out. Zelsis to find the first. Still has the run it back available. Swings for the next off the back end of a curveball. There's the ultimate used. A Neural Theft instead as Aaron trades back 2. So a 2 for 2 across the map, but still favorable on the rifle here for version 1 as Aaron finds himself on 2 HP. And unfortunately, that Sky taking off the board, so no regrowth.
Yeah, that's a great job by Zelsis, though, kind of countering that aggression through short A, getting a couple of kills and keeping themselves on, you know, equal footing. Aaron very low on HP, however. That's going to make things a little bit even easier on version 1 to try to hold off this retake. Aaron's so vulnerable, and Penny still has control of hookah. This retake's being funneled one direction.
Effie's, although inside of that elbow position, could look to play for the ultimate. Aaron going to be taken down. A pretty simple kill to come on through. Now Thwyfo needs to try and find a way to get something done. 1 kill away from the lockdown, but not finding the shots on target just yet. Vanity going to be the one to close things out as Penny went sky high, but either way, version 1 on the board.
Again, I think it starts with Zelsis and how efficient he was putting that pressure throughout sewers, or excuse me, throughout showers, I should say. Coming in here, getting a double kill onto Weeded and VCJ, not allowing that push from Pure Showstopper to have really any impact, and then just pivoting very quickly. And again, Zelsis has not had to burn the run it back yet, so they still have that trump card to put into play. Now, you kind of want to use it soon. You don't want it to sit on it forever. You want to build it back up again, so I'd imagine this is the round where you should probably see it come out.
Especially when Zelsis is, you know, having the game that he's having. You know, you're finding those kills. You're going to get it back. You can also just continue to funnel as much as you can. They're playing so much over towards that shower position.
And it's just something that sometimes CS players just kind of forget about, honestly. Like, I remember there's one game, I feel like, where Kusta didn't use an ult for a whole half or something like that. It was wild. So I doubt that happens here for Zelsis. I'm sure he's on top of things here. But BCJ trying to slow things down with the Hunter's Fury through long B side. Does just that, kind of pushes version 1 back a little bit. Now it will drone to try to get some intel over towards hookah. Again, some of the utility of Thwyfo is still in position here. Turret is going to get alerted, and there's that run it back from Zelsis.
And they're rotating on over. That Cypher still holding it down towards that A site. The run it back comes through. Not going to find too much, but a bit of information as Effie sends a shot through his teammate, and the teleports now underway. It was the Seekers and the Trailblazer used here in this round. 2 of them going to be cut down before they can find their mark, and that Spike still trying to come on the site, but there's player 1. He was on the lurk, now making it hurt, but 2 quick kills coming right back. A 2v3, and the Spike yet to be planted. Version 1 cut down to their last. It's Penny. He's got the showstopper. He's trying to make it hurt. He's got 9 HP, but unfortunately doesn't have the angle. Raze v Raze. The teleport to come on through, and the post plant to follow. Running out of time, but version 1 at the very least, but they get to play off the Spike.
Yeah, health advantage for Penny as well. Oh, Pure, what a play. 4 kills. Saved the day, because I thought that player one's about to end that round in favor of version 1. He had such a great lurk at A with all that B pressure going on. Found an opening and thought he had sealed the deal, but such a great round from Pure.
That hurts the soul.
Oh, it
there.
does. Yes. I mean, you're falling behind on the scoreboard. You finally have a big opportunity where Penny has the health advantage, did all the right things to get Spike back, get it down with little time to spare at B. Had a good read of the situation as well in the rotation, and just lost the one-on-one duel to Pure despite having the health advantage. And now Pure has the ult, so does Aaron, and you have to wonder if more aggression's in the cards. Looks like they're going for long B hard.
Get the blind onto 1. Recon Bolt. Not gonna get the information just yet. Unfortunately, the Bucky not enough to get anything done for Weeded there, but the paint shells, on the other hand, just enough to push Effie's back. Version 1 still in the driver's seat when it comes to numbers, but a lot of their players whittled away here. A couple just about 30 HP.
It's a big opening kill to get the 5-on-4, but it was very costly. Effie's and player 1 are just bleeding out right now. Very vulnerable targets as they're trying to paint shell Pure out of position at Hookah. They do it, but he sticks his ground for 1, but that's not good enough when you're already a player down. That's not the trade you'd like to get. You're starting to leak some weapons over to version 1. They're starting to, again, keep that man count in their favor, and now they're able to make this pivot to A side. Now, all this, Killjoy utility is here, as well as a couple of stars. So it's going to be a tough push, but definitely have some opportunities now, thanks to some of these entries.
From the shadows over towards the B side, it is going to be canceled. I thought maybe he sticks it, not spotting out anything, but information now there. Cosmic Divide going to come down. Aaron feeling it pretty appropriate to use it here in this round as the cage goes through. Player 1 gets caught out. It was just a pistol. And now the numbers are even. But again, things aren't looking too good for version 1 here in this round. They're going to need a couple of 1-taps in order to find a whole lot. They've got some utility to play with. Here comes that retake. BCJ gonna look straight to the smoke. Vanity picks up 1. Effie's gonna be traded out on that. Vanity inside the dark cover. Now in a 1v1, and this is a pretty good spot. Zelsis, the healthiest player on the squad, playing right on the spike. The swing comes through, and Zelsis gets it done.
Big round here, 1 against for version 1. It was a round that they were struggling to kind of get through, right? They didn't have the best firepower. The aggression at long B was going against them, but they were able to get some big picks up through Hookah's side, maintain the man advantage, even with vulnerable players on the field. I thought they were in some trouble when we saw that push into showers and the numbers equalized, but they were able to just kind of get deep into the defensive side. Despite BCJ's efforts, they were able to find picks elsewhere.
Let us hunt.
And Zelsis wins a big 1 versus 1, and the gap is starting to fade just a bit, though XSET are still in control, and they're once again looking to get aggressive on this fountain position. Effie's trying to counter as best he can by his lonesome. In the meantime, Penny trying to take control of Hookah's side, will push the defense out of place. Trailblazer comes to counter him, though. Again, he's still unable to attain it, and now Weeda can take it back for himself instead. Nanoswarm is also set up in there.
There's so much information gathering. There's so much information.
This composition is the info composition.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how
it's
well
info
it
plus
works.
smokes, basically.
Yeah.
I have the spike.
And information is really half the battle, like you said on that last map. So on the attacking side, I would imagine it works pretty well, or just as well as it does here on the defense. XSET still ahead 5-2, and this time around a very slow approach to this round for version 1 as they're making sure they do their due diligence. Aaron gonna find the first kill. That is on player 1, the lurker over towards A. The last time we saw that play happening, it was a teleport, a run through showers, and player 1 has made it all the way towards that defender side of spawn. This time around, they're looking to just take the hit right to B. A couple of kills back and forth. Again, the B site not free. All 3 members stacked up towards the back halls. Version 1 looking to push on, and they should be able to get the spike down.
Penny had a little bit of a gap there over the top of the smoke. I thought he was maybe going to make something happen, but it's BCJ instead lining them up with the Phantom from back hall. Shock Dart lands the mark as well, and BCJ is just too darn good on that Sova, man.
BCJ ulted at the end of the round.
Did he? Oh, no. I thought I heard it, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, the HUD really tells the story there. That is a misfire if I've ever heard of one. Does that mean I have to take all the praise back? That's a big cross cancel there. Yeah. How about this? Yeah, good effort from VCJ. Really tough ult on the back side of it.
Yeah, it basically boils down to a neutral play. That play just became average from BCJ. Either way,
it went from a 10 out of 10 to like a 7 out of 10.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's generous.
And C's get degrees. Now, speaking of Sovas, it's not BCJ, it's Effie's to find a kill with the ultimate. Penny can hop on the board as well. Pure forced to use a showstopper, but picking up the kills in response. They continue to go to work back and forth on this A site. We find ourselves once more in a 2v2 situation, and nothing has been free in this game. We've yet to see some flawlesses coming on through. They're always able to find these situations where just about everybody dies, and we're in another one.
Again, we talk about how these two teams are both very aggressive, so you kind of expect some sparks to fly in some of these early to mid-round confrontations as we see the 2-1-2 continue to play out here. U-Haul still not being recaptured by XSET just yet. Still a very tough retake ahead of them here. Oh, a timing caught, though, by Dwifo onto Effie's. That could change everything. It's up to Celsius now.
And the clock is ticking, though. Somebody's got to get on the spike, and they do have enough time. That is unfortunate for Celsius, just getting sprayed down as he peeked up the back end of the curveball. And XSET, they start to bring it back. But version 1, you can see, Dust, the cogs are turning. The wheels are turning.
I wonder if the lockdown was really worth it there. That's kind of my question at the end of it, because that could be 2 ults burnt with little value or little necessity. But Glypho, again, just such a great timing there onto Effie's and catches Zelsis right away. It does force Zelsis to play into them, though, when he puts the lockdown in, so I think it still did have value. Couldn't play more passive, had to engage or basically concede the defuse. So, yeah, I guess it was a good call in the end, but, man, XSET are starting to really capture control of this one. We see some aggression, though, from Aaron to kick things off here in Showers. What can version 1 do? I don't know that they faced this yet.
This is...
Oh, didn't quite go through.
I believe that star was used over towards that A short area. Won't have gravity well here, but they do have the crossfire. The hat comes off, but caught with his hands off his weapons. It is a 2v2, though, on this A site once more. And we're down to an even battle as Pure finds a nice little 3K, low HP, has to take his leave back towards the shower, and Vanity, expecting the peak, brings us once more to a 2v2. The teleport to come on through, and we'll see what Penny decides to get done here. Oh, Vanity actually maybe bringing it back here.
It looks like he is. I was a little bit concerned that Pure might be overextending a little bit there in some of those fights, but 2-on-2 nonetheless is where we're dealt. BCJ gets caught by Penny right in the dome. Now all on Dwifo. Another port, a fake one at that, though, making Dwifo kind of think things through, puts the turret out, trying to hold his ground. Now they fully commit both players to the port. Now he knows what's up. And now he's going to have that cooldown on the turret, so it's really just going to come down to himself and his peaks.
Spike planted.
And that second player could have gone really anywhere. There it is, Penny matching Pure's 3K on the round for version 1. They're trying to claw back, grab everything they can. 7-5, the best half they can get here. And that's a pretty good way to lean in that direction, because the economy for XSET struggling a little bit.
Indeed it is. Again, this has just been kind of a slugfest of a battle. Both teams just throwing haymakers left and right with these aggressive plays, and we're starting to see Vergin 1 at least being able to piece together a few rounds and keep themselves in contention, though certainly XSET still maintain a sizable lead. Though this round they had little to work with. 4 Buckies and 1 Vandal. Gonna be a tough ask. They're trying to play some closer angles, see if they can get some value, but again, it's gonna come down to whether or not Vergin 1 gift them any opportunities in some of these close quarters. And player 1 says, nah, Chief. Not me.
And that feels pretty good, because player 1 kind of been getting the rough end of things over towards that A site. Every time trying to lurk on up. Only really getting value in one of the plays or one of the rounds that we've seen thus far for a play like that. So a nice little pickup with that pick They bring up the rear and head back towards this A site, which has been, I mean, a bloodbath. A lot of bodies dropping here on this A site. This round might not be that one. Either way, Spike goes down, and a retake now will ensue.
Yeah, there is a showstopper in play as well as Seeker, so a couple of vital pieces that XSET can use to work this out. Pure getting a little bit of space there to get into the corner and try to see if they can't make some progress. Zelfs is cutting off this U-Haul angle, however, it is traded, and the rifle goes to XSET side. BCJ had to pull up the classic, but it's working out. XSET are making some progress. 2-on-2 now. Seeker's out.
Yep, and there's the Seekers, the showstopper right behind it. The ultimate you talked about gonna go good for a kill. 11 HP unweeded. The regrowth will not work on the Sky all by their lonesome. Just looking to stick it. Penny with the swing to close it out. 7-4 as we enter the last round of the half.
Yeah, good job there on Penny and all of that chaos to keep his wits about him on that timing, knowing when he must peek in case it was being stuck, and he read it perfectly. Able to win out the 1v1. Again, a lot of these rounds have come down to this, though, Tanner. It's been a lot of 2-on-2, 1-on-1 type post-plant situations, and each team has kind of taken their fair share of those moments, which is why the score is oh so close. Last round of the half now underway. We do see a lot of utility being set up here, like Wifo up short side. We did trying to, again, use the guiding light to put some pressure on Fountain. Counter recon gets put into Octagon. Again, that Astra shutting down some timings at Showers, allowing the defense to gain control.
And it sniffs out the lurk. Player one picks up one. The recon bolt didn't spot Weeded, and he's able to find a kill. Now with one more out towards Showers. Penny forced to try and back
in a
away
precarious
here.
position now.
Yeah.
He is stuck in the... You can understand why he had to escape. He was definitely going to get pinched in. This does unlock B-Site, though, for version 1. They have a 3-on-4 ahead of them, though. That's the one thing kind of working against them. So they are going to be able to get this spike down any moment at B, but again, the retake from XSET will be powerful with that man advantage.
And look at all the utility.
Spike planted.
Yes.
They've got basically everything.
Yes. You are correct.
This is, I would expect this to go very well.
Uh-oh.
I'm leaning on an 8-4. Zelsis looks to play inside the hot hands. Paint Shell's going to go through. There's both curveballs to Blazewall to try and slow things down. And hey, you don't have to take the fights here. You just got to buy the time. The spike is ticking down. There goes the boom bot. BCJ going to peek, but Penny trades it right back. Penny able to get another one, and here we go. A 1v1, but it's 10 HP on the raise. Paint Shell's going to go just a bit wide, and Aaron finds the spray down through the wall. XSET will get it done in the last round and bag 8 going into the next.
Bro, how many situations did we have that half where it just came down to 4 people dying in the blink of an eye, and all of a sudden you're into a 1v1? Like, it just seemed like that happened so many times. It was very hard to follow at moments. And again, this comes down to both teams being willing to play that assertive play style. There's no passivity here between XSET and version 1. Yeah, they can play out a default at a medium pace if need be, but they are no strangers to this gathering up and hitting, you know, that go button and seeing what happens. And XSET just a little bit better in this half, but it was certainly closer than maybe the score even indicates, in my opinion. I think that could have very easily been 8-4 version 1's way if some of those 1v1, 2v2 type situations earlier in the half just went a little bit differently. So still very much up for grabs here is Bind, but XSET on the scoreboard do have that little bit more of a foundation underneath them.
Nice little tag there. Doesn't get all that much outside of the information that the Omen will be playing on this side, and quite possibly Paranoia. Penny hops up but gets taken down. What a shot by Wifo there to open things up, and guess what? Here come the guiding lights. It gets a whole lot worse from here for version 1.
I mean, XSET with this comp are built for speed for these set pieces on these sites. They had so much to throw down, the hold off the choke points, to get intel, to flash people into place and just brawl. And that's the type of style they really like to play, that 1-4 brawly style. And this time they just sent all 5, and they absolutely capitalized. They're up 9-4 now. Very likely we'll find a 10th, as version 1 will have to concede due to the economy. And XSET are starting to set themselves up nicely here. Pure up to 21 kills. He is well and above anyone else in the server right now, having a hell of a time on Raze, which is kind of new for him. You know, like he's only recently started mixing that into his composition game. I was actually looking at it earlier. The man has 110 games played on Jet. This will be his 10th, I think, on Razor, or 11th. That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
In case you're not good with numbers. That's a lot.
Well, and I think a lot of it, too, goes for the rest of the squad being able to enable Pure to
Yes.
make the plays, right? This comp, it just seems like a duelist go kill kind of comp where
But only one
they're
duelist.
going to be blinded, they're going to be pushed out. Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to split the kills if you're Pure. You can drop 20 bombs or 30 bombs.
Yeah, but the thing is, Aaron plays duelists on other maps, right? So he's no stranger to being aggressive. So once he lays down those stars and he starts deploying them, then he can beat that follow-up to Pure if need be. Also, we did no stranger to being aggressive if need be once his utility's burnt. So they have those players that have that mentality of being willing to go with their teammates and be fearless, even if their agent isn't necessarily suited to be an entry. They can kind of get around that. But yeah, here's kind of that freebie round that XSET are hoping for. They've already chipped away a heavy amount off of Vanity. And now Zelsis adds to that. Very low HP on 2 players now for version 1.
And you're just hoping to find something on the close angles. Zelsis makes the bonus hurt for 1. ECJ taken off the board. Very low HP as that regrowth gets queued up. We did looking to help comp his team up. Ooh, Zelsis picks up another nice little headshot there, and there goes the Bucky. Oh my goodness, this one looking a little bit winnable. Now down in the 2v2, Vanity backs away, Bucky in hand. There's a couple of rifles you can look to pick up, but we did start to spray through the cyber cage. And Vanity, with only 9 health, probably not long for the world. And let me tell you, buddy, that Bucky's strong. I don't think it reaches out and touches that far.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the best place right now. That is very true. He's trying to, you know, make a little bit of something happen, laying the smokes down, teleporting around, trying to create a little bit of havoc, but Aaron will eventually push through and finish the job there, and both players will get away with those Spectres to try to roll them over into somewhat of a bonus round. Obviously, several players are going to have to spring for a weapon here. So firepower advantage will be there for version 1. This is kind of their last chance, too, if we're honest. I mean, if they lose this, they're right back to no money, and they would basically be force buying the rest of the game, or playing for overtime with a save.
Yeah.
Which is a tough ask in this situation. So, yeah, this is very much kind of last chance saloon for them in this bracket. Again, they will bow out in 4th place with still a good chunk of change and a slot into the regional final. So, I'm sure they won't be tearing up too much about it, but a big opportunity here to try to take it a little bit further. They can find this round.
A lot of utility used, nice and early from both of these squads. Boombots, owl drones tossed on out. Doc Dart's going to be traded as well. Twyfo has since controlled this hookah area. Vanity able to use that shrouded step to get onto the site, so should be able to back the squad up quite a bit. It's looking like a full hit this way. Spectre in hand. Vanity going to be the first to fall, but rifles for the rest of the squad could turn things around. Recon bolts traded once more. Zephy's not able to find too much off the back end of that one. It's Penny to fall. Twyfo now getting that spike down, and it's all starting to fall apart here. Zelsis with the run it back. It's absolutely nothing. Sent right back from whence he came in a 2v4. Player 1 and Zelsis need to start to go huge. Twyfo to fall. Curveball goes on through. Looking like a peek from Weeded. He's able to find that kill as they push onto the side. It's a Spectre in hand, and unfortunately, the rifle comes crumbling down. XSET, pick them apart and get it done. Push to 11.
Yeah, I think one of the big talking points for this map, other than, you know, I love these 2v2s and how XSET were a bit better in the clutch, is going to have to be that not only did XSET win both pistols, they won both bonus rounds this game. And that's huge, because we know how often those bonus rounds can go awry because you're at a disadvantage when it comes to firepower, and you're having to, you know, play a little bit more of a limited strategy to make it work when you're keeping those Spectres. And yeah, just they were able to convert both of those, and that's really made a big difference. Now look at what version 1 has to contend with. They themselves have to play a similar setup to what a bonus round would be considered here, but this is their full buy. It's the best they can do. They're in a lot of trouble now. And a lockdown for Twyfo could, I mean, that's going to be potent. And the Seekers.
Yeah.
Pure is 1 away from a showstopper. I mean, they have so much going for them to close this.
And this setup that you're seeing from version 1 quite possibly is going to be the same exact thing going into the next, right? You opted a lot into this one to try and play for the win. It's going to make it harder to find yourself playing for the overtime on Spectres, although that's a pretty great start. Weeda taken off the board. That's the heals. That's the Seekers now gone and a player ahead for version 1.
Yeah, that was a great little pinch through Portal and Hookah to try to, put some pressure out there. They know that times are desperate as far as what they have to work with. So they have to kind of force a play, and they actually make it work. Zelsis is maintaining showers control as well with the rifle. Gets the spike down. This is great from version 1. They are cleaning house right now. Nothing going the way of XSET. A flawless round for version 1. And we said Last Chance Saloon was kind of the previous round, but they still have some fight still left in them there. What a big play.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it a million times at this point, but that's the best time to start to battle back. And because it was a flawless round, their eco is A-okay going into the next. And 4 players on that squad upgraded from those Spectres. So yeah, it's only Effie's now on that one, who is going to hang on to it, but in a really good spot. It's almost the inverse for XSET, a couple of rifles and Spectres as well.
Yeah, but now you got Seekers, the Lockdown, and the Showstopper available for XSET to just add even more of a wallop to that aggressive play style, as they're just going to be looking to full send it up short A.
Oh, player 1 shoots him down through the smoke. There's the ultimate off the table. The Showstopper gets stopped itself. Vanity put in a bad spot. The Lockdown going to look to push everybody away, and unfortunately no Hunter's Fury to stop that one. So the A site should be taken, not for free from either team though. 1 for 1 we go. Vanity chipped away down to 25 health, and now the retake to ensue. BCJ on the lower end of things has a shock dart to work with, and we did still having some of that utility. Could prove to be a pain. Looks like the Trailblazer queued up. Aaron maybe looking to play off the back end of this. Cosmic Divide 2 points away, as is the Hunter's Fury. Vanity being tricky. He ends up making a step after the Shrouded. Spectre going to take him down on lower HP. Thwifo finds another to trade it out. It's down to the last 2 here. Make it the last one. Penny has to go huge and only goes good for 1. Map point now for XSET, as version 1 have to string 7 in a row.
Hey, you're starting to like version 1's chances there, right? They burnt all of XSET's ults. Seekers and Showstopper had little impact, but the big ol' Thwifo ult just did everything, didn't it, right? There was no way to shut down, as you said. There was no Hunter's Fury to blow it away, so they were able to get control of A site, push everyone off site, and that gives them better chances to set up for post-plant positioning inside U-Haul and elsewhere to make it harder for that retake to come through. So the Lockdown having its full impact, and so despite some of the, I guess, adversity they faced, losing here, they were able to battle through it.
Next set, just looking to be quick with it here. It is a full buy for version 1, but they're already down a player in Effie's who was close to that Hunter's Fury. Boombot can get quite a bit of damage onto Zelsis. They close it out with the rifle, but Penny able to trade back too, and that's the best way to keep fighting. Now a Showstopper online, but only 19 HP, and Thwifo trying to do something crazy outside the showers gets sat down. Here comes the info. 50% of the fight now in the hands of version 1. A nice little
BCJ got darted and neural thefted, bro. Double the information on his location there. As now it's going to be a 2-on-3. They're trying to still see if they can't force their way through, but version 1 has done such a fantastic job. A great shout, though, from the drone, but Penny used that to his advantage to swing out and blindside them. But BCJ now has player 1 pinned into the pocket. He gets that kill. Now he has a 1v1. Low HP, sure, but a Hunter's Fury to put out. And the thing is, Vanity has an element of surprise. What will come out on top?
2 shock darts available in a recon bolt just around the corner as well, but BCJ's definitely seen better times. Only on 30 HP. There it is. Recon bolt. The tap on the spike as Vanity backs away into Hookah. Not giving away too much. Just or U-Haul, excuse me. Now looking to play inside the dark cover. There goes the recon bolt. The information now given, quite possibly, that BCJ is playing up towards the 7th position. 1 shock dart to follow the Hunter's Fury on top of it all, and he's just buying so much time with the Shrouded step. He pushes him down, and Vanity gets it done. They hang on for a moment longer.
Oh, it's not enough time.
No, not enough time. Wow, I was trying to hear for it, and that's the way it goes sometimes. 13-5, XSET will close out the series 2-1 and rematch Envy in the final.
Oh, man, I was getting ready to praise Vanny because I thought the Shrouded Step was the perfect counter to the Hunter's Fury, man. Like, I thought he was actually doing a great job closing distance on BCJ. But BCJ did such a great job with the recon bolt and the shock darts to just kept stalling that spike diffuse. He could never get it halfway before setting up that Shrouded Step aggression into heaven. And so BCJ, again, just plays his cards right with the Sova kit. Again, I do think he's one of the best Sovas in the region. You got to start throwing him in the conversation. I think, like, EU's up there, obviously. A few other names you would throw out there as well. But I think you have to give BCJ that respect now. He's time and time again just playing so well and giving XSET this chance to have these deep runs in these bigger events. It wasn't all him, though, obviously. I mean, you know, great play from the entire, you know, side over there, especially just having just a composition that gives you so much, you know, in your toolbox.
And this was a map that we thought version 1 would struggle on, and if you look at the score line, you think, okay, yeah, that's exactly how we expect it to go. But you kind of brought it up in those last few rounds. I don't think it was from round 4 on. I think we got one flawless. The rest of it was 1v2s, 2v2s, 3v3. Everybody kind of getting cut down, which is why we saw some of the economic struggles for both sides across the board. And so the 13-5 doesn't do this really any justice.
I do think that those 2 bonus rounds are again, very key alongside both pistols, right? Being able to get a 3-0 start at worst on both halves is pretty big. That must be noted. That's 6 rounds right there of the 13 based on converting bonuses. So I think that when you have so many rounds that are coming so close to 2v2, things like that really have impact. And so as we look at the head-to-head, you can see that Pure and Penny, the 2 Wraiths, is having a hell of a game, particularly Pure on 23. But again, XSET's one of those teams where they can get great contributions out of virtually the entire lineup at any point in time, and we did see that throughout the series. And for version 1, look, I mean, they're taking a big leap forward still. They were able to get a top 4 position here. They're going to be in the regional finals. They're definitely making some strides as a team. But now it's just about taking your licks up against a team like XSET, who's a bit more seasoned, right? A bit more used to playing the high-pressure matches against the elite-level teams and learning from those situations. They're the ones also implementing those, you know, higher utility compositions, whereas version 1 is still, you know, on the double duelist and kind of some of the basics. And so they're adapting to the meta a bit better, I guess, is nothing you could point out. But all in all, we look at the head-to-head here for the 2 players that we thought would have, you know, a big series, and, well, both of them did.
Yeah. On kills, that the first blood percentage, obviously you're expecting a bit more out of Zelsis in that, but it was the damage that they're doing, the average kills, the assists even coming through there, and that's all you can really hope for your initiator player, right? Typically they have a handful of assists on top of the impact that they have there at the end. And this matchup was really cool for me because I've really enjoyed watching both of these runs, right? It was in stage 1 that XSET started to mount this crazy assault and start taking down some big names and really create or cement themselves as a staple in the scene. And you fast forward to right now, and I think that's where version 1 is, right? Version 1 is literally just a bit lagged behind XSET in that same story being told. So you kind of meet the sensei and the young grasshopper, if you will, in this matchup. And obviously you expect, you know, XSET with a bit more experience to come out on top. And it really showed here in this one, as we can take a peek at that bracket for you guys to see where you are headed. Unfortunately for version 1, their run is done for stage 1, but they are going to be coming back better and stronger, I would imagine, in a couple of weeks towards the end of April. And now we've got, you thought coming into this one that XSET Envy in the round 2 upper bracket was a best of 3, and Envy came out on top. Came out on top, excuse me. XSET says psych to that. It's actually a best of 5, and here we go now. Map or round number 4 between these 2 teams in the 2 stages. And I don't know if this is daunting for XSET or if they've got something up their sleeve to finally silence this Envy squad.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious because we did see Envy, and we could talk about this more in the pregame after the break, but they were doing some weird compositions in their 100th East match in the upper bracket final. And so if they really are testing the waters with new compositions in an official match, saying that might make them a bit more rocky than what they normally would be, right? And that could create some opportunities for XSET. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. It's not as if XSET are strangers to contesting Envy. Well, they were able to beat them, you know, in stage 1 challengers won in a best of 3, 2-1. So they've proven that they can beat this team, though Envy has beaten them the last 2 times they played against each other in a best of 3. So, and they had the overall head-to-head advantage. But yeah, that'll be something more to talk about a little bit later, I think.
Yep, here we go. We've got one series left to go on the day. The winner will move forward to tomorrow to play 100 Thieves in the grand finals. We might get ourselves one of them upsets or one of them rematches. We'll see how it goes. We do have to hop away for a quick break, guys. When we come back, a best of 3 series kicking off in the lower finals between Envy and XSET. You don't want to miss it.